Hi, I'm Alex, and I have an offer to study chemistry at New College, Oxford. And I'm going to talk about my application, personal statement, and how I prepared for my interview. Chemistry doesn't have an admissions test, which I think makes preparation a bit more enjoyable and a bit less of a slog, but it does mean your A-levels, your personal statement, and hopefully your interview are even more significant. Now, I'd say if you don't have an admissions test, you should find something that you could sort of use as an admissions test, like an Olympiad, because all you have to show that you're good at your subject is your A-levels and your personal statement. And everybody applying will have good grades, and a personal statement can show your interest in the subject, but not necessarily if you're good at it. And to be honest, I'd recommend trying to do well in all the Olympiads or challenges for the subjects you study, because it's just more things that can show that you're a good applicant. And then another thing with your personal statement is that it's not just a list of things you've done. It needs to lead from one thing to another. You shouldn't read a book, say it was interesting, and then stop there. So for example, I read a few books on the periodic table. Both of them had interesting things to say about transition metals and d orbitals. I looked more into them, and that led on to another thing, and that gave me plenty to talk about in my personal statement. Now, if you don't have an admissions test and you think you've made your personal statement as good as it can be, I'd recommend starting your interview preparation early, just to get comfortable with saying your ideas out loud. This is really important because to an interviewer, staying silent because you have no ideas looks the same as staying silent because you have so many things you could say that you can't decide which one is best. I would also recommend looking through your personal statement, picking up on any questions you could see yourself being asked. I was asked a question about a sentence in my personal statement that I felt was a bit of a nothing sentence, sort of moving the story on, and I didn't answer it very well because I wasn't prepared for it. So just make sure you're prepared for anything they could ask about your personal statement. After you've been through your personal statement, I think you should read and take notes on textbooks that go slightly beyond the A-level syllabus, as that's the topics the interviews will be asking you about. So for chemistry, there are the Oxford chemistry primers, which are meant to prepare students for the jump between A-level chemistry and chemistry at uni. And they were great. I would also say for STEM subjects, just to make sure you're comfortable with differentiation and integration, because that does come up a lot in interviews. But I think the most valuable thing that you can do is mock interviews. Literally take every opportunity that you can to have one. I had over 20 mock interview sessions, and they're not only helpful just to get that practice of saying your ideas out loud, but also some of the questions do come up quite a lot, so I think it'd be foolish to miss out on something that they could ask you in a real interview. And finally, I'd say once you get your offer, don't relax, because you're not in yet, and it'd be even more heartbreaking if you don't get in this time, because now you've done the hard bit. So just make sure you put in the effort to get those grades.